fight this engagement. You have Wakey's trio out there. You have Vidil's trio just a little bit further. So this wedge is already being filled with big names of the EU region. And 7 points is all they need right now. So when that number gets to 222, they catch up to Queasy. Placement points haven't been doled out. 5 points we're going to be doled out in about 4 places. And the lobby focus is coming in. This is second place here on the ropes. They might get KO'd. And that's Noah Riley applying pressure on the other side. That's Asterios applying pressure on the other side. Here comes the stink. The gas may be a little too dense for them. And Dreda now down without any shield on the sliver of life. Savage is on the same way, is able to get back to 100 HP, but Refsguard goes down. Too much pressure from all angles, as my boy Shio will say. Left, right, up, down, doesn't matter where they look, they were just getting too much, and now it all falls on Indreda's shoulders. This will be by far one of the lowest finishes they had throughout the entire tournament, and this is second place once again. 6 HP and a dream, and that dream is being turned into a scary nightmare. Can they get it? Whoa, hold on just for a brief moment. And that's what FNCS comes all about, the brief moments.
Happy Exterior still looking from the outside in. And Dreda, their second place ship, caught in a Bermuda Triangle of pressure and stinks all around. Might be a shipwreck here in just a second. It's going to be so tough to get out of here, and they're not sure what's outside these walls. You can hear the footsteps too. The shield for Refsguard, he went down to stink, so it still stays up for him. They get to save a lot on resources. In terms of the meds they have, they can see, I feel like, Refsguard through these walls. No, they're metal walls, and it'll be tough. Here comes all the pressure. They have to move. Edit out right, but there's trios waiting outside too. 65 damage above, and they're still getting tagged. This is rough for Andretta and Refsguard for the moment. They're caught right back on Storm Line 2. Third zone moving in 45 seconds. This survival story has a timer. They not only have to escape this pressure, but then move in a time limit too. So this is going to be really strugglesome. 10 bills on Andretta too. This is just too rough.
My oh my, the shoes on the other foot. We saw this engagement down in Lazy Lake, and we saw Indretta, Refsguard, and Savage get a big key refresher off of Mappy's trio, and Mappy is just disengaging right now, leaving this trio on the island all by themselves with no life raft to be able to survive, and Storm Surge is raining down terror. 55 below, not enough minis to hold on, but Red Rush, he sees that, he's trying to capitalize, but some tags on Red Rush here, Refsguard and Dreda here. It's all but a matter of time for them to be eliminated here in one of the second games, and the Raptor says hello, but Asterios is the ultimate king. He takes them down, and now Red Rush, Asterios, and Mappy get revenge, and what an almost bad
people to catch up, but at the same time a chance at the second last game of the EU finals for Queasy, Chulex, and Jerky to really solidify that first place spot.
The only trio I think they have to be have to keep wary of is Vidil's trio. Throughout the entire day, they've been playing height. They've already defended them once. They already got a huge bow shot to stop their push. So we have to keep an eye on what kind of position does Vidil trios have. But let's keep an eye on here on a third place team, Tayson.
Third place looking to take over second, but it's a 50-point gap they have to make up. Looking in for a big fight too. It's a Tomsy. Bloomy already a little bit affected. I think Percival's down. They're not going to be trading lives either. It's just damage. They pick up another. Find Percival. Looks like they found one more as well through the entire engagement. Haven't taken out the full trio, but they'll take those points. Let's talk about patterns and weaknesses for the two trios we were just talking about, Sancho, Queasy, and Vidil. For Vidil, once again, they're having bad games and then a victory royale, back to back to back. Their last game was just bad. They're slated to get a VR right now, especially we've been seeing them picking up eliminations all throughout the map. Now for Queasy, Chulex, and Jerky, their biggest weakness is having height like they have right now and not being aware of the lobby getting overtaken. This is a scary situation. The only games they've really choked and lost is when they actually have high ground. The consistent games is where they play mid, they look fine. This is such a good spot for them. They look like kings right now. but that throne is definitely up for grabs. They have to be very, very vigilant. Think about Thomas HD, Flick, and Anas as well. This is not a pattern we've seen for an entire season, but these last 2 games usually is where they operate. They love the pressure. They like being in 6th place all the way behind. Now, it's a big gap. They're about 80 points away or 60 points away from the 1st place, Queasy, Trulex, and Jerky. But if they can catch up now, it has to be the time. They'll have to take them off of height as well.
Let me introduce some other foes of Queasy's way. You have Shadow's trio, who are known to be aggressive at height. You also have a trio in Hen right behind them, who in Game 4 yesterday were able to flank them and sneak up here. So it all depends where the Zone 5, half in and half out. You already see Noah Riley already invested here in about 0 seconds. Here we go. About a minute. We're going to see Zone 5 revealed. And let's see if Queasy or Noah Riley or Shadow gets that first movie.
We'll talk about the zones in the map too as these guys drop down pressure. You'll see a bunch of eliminations come through. The more important thing is we haven't seen a Slurpee endgame zone just yet in these FNCS finals. We've seen Caddy multiple times, Lazy Lake multiple times. The Orchard, Spire in the middle as well has been big, and Vidil, Noah Riley like to operate there. Everyone has experience on all sides of the map. Over here though, the bottom left side of the map, we have not seen any of these teams have their take so far inside this lobby. This is going to be a brand new, fresh game. Noah Riley's looking for picks already. Thomas HD got some in the feed. Slender is still alive this game. All the trios we're used to seeing go down are up and ready. This is a completely fresh experience.
What a solid position right here. Look how much lobby is just coming their way from Noah Riley, Vidil, and Reason. They haven't been able to get there. There is finally a good knock on Domentos right there, but those are the valuable elimination points they could to close the gap, because they have a lot of work to do considering that Queasy's still up. Here we go. Zone 5 is about to be revealed. This is going to be huge for the second to last game here of the EU finals. Let's see where it goes.
Checking out all sides of the map. Looks like people are starting to rotate in. It's towards this top right of Slurpee Swamp. Noah Riley basically have the gatekeep position, at least from their trio. I see one on absolute height. It might be Trulex. No, it's Exterios, who's all the way on high ground. With Mappy and Red Rush, somehow they find a way to get all the way up top. The consistent trio coming in throughout the day have kind of, had a leg backwards. They're in 4th place right now. They have the best chance to catch up completely, but they have to fight Queasy. They have to fight Vidil. 3 different teams looking to have high and take this game.
My, oh my, we're used to seeing the low ground. As you're seeing Trulex, yes, the defense, they saw in the VOD how they got flanked on. They're trying to discourage that high ground retake, because we all know it's basically so much free. That's to be an economy type of way to take that high ground from, because they don't have to use all that. That's what Chapitz is keeping an eye on for. But look, actually Flick is pushing on Noah Riley. They're trying to take this height away from them, and Noah Riley's doing all that he can to stop it.
Every team from 3rd to 10th is trying to find a way to get back into this tournament, get back to the 1st place slot. Right now for Anas, it'll be going straight to Noah Riley's box. A big pump comes in to trade. Thomas HD is keeping this team's dreams alive, but he's the only one left up with 19 HP. Landed a big pump, didn't get a full finish on the Elam either. This height take did not work out, and their chances for 1st place are definitely on the line.
Thomas HD could definitely clutch that situation. He's done it in previous season. He's going to have one of the biggest clutches. But look, Height's in trouble. Trulex Jerky goes down, and Queasy has been put down to low ground. He is in shambles. Queasy doesn't want to be down here. The air is not just too dense for them. His lungs are used to clean air. Queasy now, he has to do all that he can to hold on. This is the 1st place team going down, and placement points are well out getting doled.
This might be the most important. It's all about play. Him. 15 different teams alive right now. That placement will come in every single time one goes down. Queasy moving forward. Only soft mats. 400 builds. He's looking to harpoon any type of materials, but every edit he opens is an invitation for more beams to come from any direction that he's looking at. A big shot. A little bit, but he's taken out now. For every other team up right now, it's a chance for contention, a chance to catch up to the 1st and 2nd.
You get a lot of movement on that board, Shio.
That was definitely a catch-up game, though, for the majority of the server, right? A lot of those top teams going down early, even 4-0 not being able to go all the way to the end for the victory royale. I'm wondering how that shakeup looks. What does the catch-up look like? We have to toss it over to the desk to see exactly how that game's results throw down.
Boys, we're in the back just screaming our heads off, all right? We're just yelling as all of this is happening. Trios falling left and right. This is absolutely insane. Now, we'll take a look at the standings in just a little bit. 11 of the overall tournament finals here in Europe. Gentlemen, at this point, it's a battle between first and second. Everyone else is playing for third. And when we're looking at these like spots, we're talking about a large amount of prize money, okay? And all these trios, they're looking to climb as high as they can to walk away with more of that pie. Reese, Levin, this game is way too tight right now.
Look, you said it's a battle for first and second, but it almost was a battle for first and second. This was a full southwest zone. It looked like Queasy completely had it in them. This is basically the worst possible zone for Savage's team, pulling all the way from Steamy Stacks all the way to max distance map. We saw it not work out for them, but at the same time, it looked like it was going to be Queasy's zone. As soon as that fifth zone pops, they're situated on height. No way to build over. They can't do their signature height play, and it all falls apart on the rotate. So both of our top two teams eliminated early in this game, which means that we saw 4ZR. We were watching 4ZR tasting and Nate through that entire end game. I think that was a third for them there with, I think, 7 eliminations, which is a ton of points, which means it was a battle for top two. But I think with that game, those guys are going to move all the way up, and now it seems to be a three-way battle for first coming into the final match.
Yeah. I wanted to come out and say, look, the top two teams made their lives a bit harder coming into that last game. But it's really unlucky, right? In the case of Savage's trio, where you have the max distance zone. It's not even a max distance zone, the max distance zone for that team. And even in Queasy and Trulex's case, they don't pull 50-50. That height difference, it just wasn't going to happen, right? They just weren't going to get height there. And so you saw they were posturing for it, right? You know what they want to do, but they just couldn't execute it. And so going into this last game now, it's a 3-horse race. And what a race is it? What a race. Like, this is going to be crazy. Ultimately, one of these 3 teams is going to be in the sort of closing moments of that game. And that's probably going to be the team that takes it. And so what happens now if there's all 3 of those teams in that situation? Like, then things get...
We have a good game.
We're getting all different levels of crazy right now in the final game.
This is absolutely insane. We'll take a look at these standings in just a second. First, we got to talk about our top 3 going into that last game. This battle at the top. We got to highlight the 3 trios that are closest to the Axe of Champions.
We literally just talked about these teams already. We set this up saying let's go the top 3 teams coming in. I think they're still the top 3 teams in contention right now. 4ZR, Tayson, and Nate had a good first day, but not anything amazing. They were 4th coming out of that first day. Now they're in 3rd, so moved up a single point, maybe even pushed their way up the leaderboards a little bit more. But Rescard, Savage, and Drea, after the first day, they were in 1st. It was all looking really, really good up until that, what was that, game number 10, where they started to get overtaken then. And then here we go, 11 games deep. They've kind of moved down a little bit. The gap seems to be changing a little bit more. This is one of the best 3-way races coming into the finals that we've seen in a long time. This is so tense.
Yeah, and you look at Queasy and Trulex, both incredibly experienced players. Juriki, this is only his 2nd time playing in an FNCS finals. Is the pressure going to get to him coming into that final game? He tweeted out just before the last game, we need to focus now. And so is this going to be the opportunity for them to close things out and win their first ever FNCS championships collectively? First team to break 300 points, 308 points, sitting on top of that standings. Queasy, Trulex, and Juriki, they need to hold on going into this last game. Refs God and Dre and Mr. Savage, even though they didn't get the game they wanted, they're still sitting there in 2nd, and the gap is reachable between them and Queasy. And so now, even with Tayson, 4-0, and Nate coming into this race, it is still a very difficult one to win.
Look, here's what I'm going to lay out for you. The worst game that Queasy, Trulex, and Juriki have had so far has been 10 points. So let's assume that's the same again. That puts them on 318, which means that Rescard, Andrea, and Savage, 4ZR, Taste, and Nate will need to win the game and Queasy, Trulex, and Juriki will need to have one of the worst or equally worst games they've had throughout today when they are extremely consistent already, which is very, very unlikely in order for them to win. Watching Queasy, Trulex, and Juriki's early and mid game is going to be so critical, because if they go down early, it's an absolute open field for any other two. Potentially, I'm going to go out on a limb here. Reason Vidil no O'Reilly. If they win with a huge elimination game, which we've already seen them do, and the top 3 don't perform, which again is possible, they could potentially get in there too, but they could also get up into top 3.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, right? We are all focusing on who's going to be the one to clinch first place coming into this last game. But of course, there are still stakes that need to be set in terms of looking at who can get top 3. You want to auto-qualify, right? So all those teams that, I feel bad for Sancho and Shire in a way, because they're going to have to keep a track of everything and let us know what's going on, because there is going to be so much riding on this final end game. Like, I just want to sit back now and just enjoy the action.
Listen, I just checked, okay? Queasy has just tweeted, "This decides it all. Good luck to all." Juriki, good luck, everyone. Good luck. They are aware. This is confidence coming into this game. Will they take it home? Will they be dethroned? We're about to find out, Fortnite fam. One final game in Europe. Sancho West, Shire Wager. Bring us home, boys.
3 teams, 1 dream, and the best reason to do it in, it's Europe. The last game, Sancho West, is on the line, and we're going straight in with Savage, Refsguard, and Andretta. Second place, about 20, almost 30 points behind. Can they do it? Can they catch up to first place and triumph in the final game of EU?
There's only 4 words that could capture this moment. Good luck and have fun. This is the final game of the FNCS EU region. Will we have a new FNCS champion, or will Hen, Janice, and Chapix, I don't know, do the astronomical performance? But all eyes are on our top 3. Queasy, Refsguard, and Tayson all have a chance to win. And it all went down to the final moments last season. Will we get a repeat finish?
They have been the most consistent all throughout the day. You can see the stat on screen. The thing is, though, it's not about consistency anymore. They're on the catch-up. They're playing defense. A majority of this tournament, we're sitting very, very chill in that first place spot. Now at second, they need to actually be proactive this game. They can't just stay waiting on low ground. Maybe play for height. Depending on where the zone goes to, that'll be huge. You know what happens in the final games of the day on EU. We end up in the mountains. We end up in the sea. It gets crazy. Meanwhile, though, regardless of all of that, Trulex, Squeezy, Jerky, first place. So good throughout the whole day. Reset it best just to show you how dominant these guys are. Their worst game, Sancho, they get 10 points. You have to count on this team to have a good game no matter what. And every team right now in the lobby is preying on their downfall.
Essentially, their worst has been a lot of trios' best. They have a 24-point lead right now. If you want to keep tabs on it, you want to do the work with us, you want to do the math. Trulix's trio is at 155 for the session. That means for the day. You're looking at Andretta's trio still locked in at 118. Third place right now is 118 as well. So you're looking about 24 points difference between first and second. Third place right now is at an 11-point difference between third and second. Good luck doing math.
And in this final game, we pulled up an extra chair at the table. There are 3 teams neck and neck, close by, looking for that top tier first place spot. The champions of Europe. It'll be 4ZR, Tayson, and Nate rolling in. 273 points throughout both days. They're also very, very close, but have to do so much and hope that Queasy, Jerky, and Trulex trip over themselves trying to clinch this last game.
Let's take a look at the Zone 1 that's been revealed. If you're sitting out there and you're a Queasy fan, they're on the bottom left of your screen. And they have to go through all of those South rotator players that are all out there that have been just clawing. They've been bruising a lot of people. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on as they make that treacherous rotation. And Shio, Savage, Resguard, and Dretta, this is really close. This is a very winnable situation considering Zone 1 pulled their way. Last zone went all the way across the map.
Yeah, I mean, it's close to them, but neither team really pulled the zone into their domain. Everyone's going to have to move a little bit, especially 4ZR all the way at Sweaty Stands. Even Steamy Stacks, you see that white line? They have to eventually end up leaving this POI. They're on a timer, and they have to make sure their game is efficient.
And we cannot forget 4th place, the Deal, Noah, Riley, and Reason, making a return back into the top 3. So that's the only new team that are within the striking distance, within being that auto qualification as well. And that is what a phenomenal performance from them, no matter what. It let them know that they could change their play style if for some reason the placement points or elimination points changes. They know they could be aggressive, they could be that buzzsaw. But this is what's been so impressive throughout the day is Trulix, Queasy, and Jerky. We've been playing height aggressively, and who knows, imagine if day 1 they were able to get those victory royales when they had height, how much of a runaway performance this would be for Season 6.
Yeah, I have it down in my notes. This team was literally supposed to win on day 1. The positions